All right, here we go. Welcome back. In a Jar Football Show, episode 191. I'm your host, Clark Dupree. Today's feature discussion, we'll talk a bit about the Bengals. Gonna do a bit of raging about the Cincinnati Bengals today. Maybe not some raging, but it's very peculiar how Cincinnati is looking to go about these questions in the offseason. The defense, second worst in the league, I believe, only behind the New York Jets, who beat the Bengals last year. Obviously, we had NFL league meetings going on, not 30 minutes from where I sit, down there at the Arizona Biltmore. I don't think you could just walk down there with a microphone and stick it in someone's face for whatever reason. I don't know if you'd be kicked off the premises down there at the Arizona Biltmore. I remember because they had the men's Final Four here last year. And all of the big wigs in college basketball were down there at the Arizona Biltmore. And I went down there because my grandfather was down there. My grandfather was somebody in college basketball a decade or two ago. And you could just hang out down there in the lobby. But with the league meetings, I'm not sure. And I also can't remember if they have the league meetings down there at the Biltmore every year or if they alternated. Anyways, we got probably 15 good minutes with you guys today. And we'll probably keep it completely Bengals focused. I mean, we could rant. Thanks, King Chai, for the sub. Really appreciate it. We could rant about what's going on with Jaden Ivey and the demonic folks that run the NBA, but I spent 20 good minutes ranting about that. I'm thinking about putting that video on my channel. It's just hard, guys, without a team. It's hard to screen record everything, cut it into horizontal, vertical. You know, I have my work cut out for me with the clips. I would love to start posting like horizontal segments of the show on the channel, like a lot of these big shows do. Something to ear note, but like King Chai, I need you guys to subscribe to the channel so that we can start generating some revenue. I can start hiring a team to do some of these things for me. I love doing this work, and regardless of if you sub or not, we're going to keep coming back every single day, every weekday, Monday through Friday. We are live with this particular football program around 6 Eastern or something. Now, I'll only be with you guys for a short time today, so let's get into our main subject matter here. We've got some Zach Taylor direct quotes. I would imagine if the algorithm brings you here, you have some interest in the Cincinnati Bengals. That's the headline today. That's the thumbnail today. Kind of blew our load yesterday. There was a lot to talk about yesterday. And the main thing that's still getting talked about online is the Jaden Ivey saga with the Chicago Bulls. And it's really uncanny how many people are cheering about a man losing his job over sharing his beliefs. Does any other belief system, any other religion, I'm convinced that he would not have lost his job. Christianity is under attack in our country, and it's the whole reason the cultural fabric of America is fading fast. It's because a lot of the Christians in this country, and it is mostly the Christians' fault, a lot of Christians in this country refuse to say we are a Christian country and we put Christian values first in this country. There's other countries that have a predominant religion dominating the cultural fabric of those countries. And some of those forces have remained very strong. You know why they've remained strong? Because they say we are a country. Those beliefs are not tolerated here. We are a country. Those beliefs are not tolerated here. And we have failed to do that in America. Anyway, Cincinnati Bengals, the linebacker room is the main discussion. They have not added to the linebacker room. Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight will be the Bengals starting linebackers in 2026. I'm not one for PFF grades, but if you were one for PFF grades, you had Demetrius Knight come in ranked 82nd out of 88 linebackers in terms of his PFF grade. You had Barrett Carter come in even worse, 85th out of 88 eligible linebackers was Barrett Carter ranked. I think the linebacker room is the most important unit on defense. Don't y'all think? Shout out to Bentley Phillips. Appreciate you being in here. Don't you think the linebacker room is the most important unit on a defense? I mean, I know pass rushers are at a complete premium right now. The Bengals add Boye Mafe, lose Trey Hendrickson, who, I mean, frankly, I think it was a good thing that the Bengals lost Trey Hendrickson. I think Trey was a silent cancer to the locker room. Maybe the Bengals organization treated him in a way that warranted some of that behavior, but Trey completely quit on the Bengals last year. There were games that Trey could have played that he chose not to play. He's a guy that has a smug grin on his face, and it would be a lot easier to hate on Trey Hendrickson if he didn't donate $250,000 to Senator Ted Karras's Cincy Foundation the other day. That was a save face moment for Trey Hendrickson. Bentley Phillips really occupying the chat. Appreciate that. So the linebacker room. Here's what we got for the linebacker room. Zach Taylor on why they did not add a veteran linebacker in free agency. This is from Zach Taylor's mouth. At moments where we could add a player, there's been players that popped up at other positions that we feel are critical additions. Jonathan Allen being one of those guys. It doesn't mean we don't prioritize it. The fit has just been somewhere else. This kid, 18, welcome to the show, brother. Hope you choose to subscribe. This is our live daily football show in the jar where we ran about recent football rumblings and other sports. Zach Taylor. There's been players that popped up at other positions that we feel are critical additives. Jonathan Allen being one of those guys. It doesn't mean we don't prioritize it. I don't know what it is. The fit has just been somewhere else. So this is what Zach Taylor's saying. I'm convinced this is what Zach Taylor's saying. Our scouting department is so behind the rest of the league and how they do things and how they staff. It is by far the smallest scouting department in the NFL. The Bengals on paper are by no stretch beating the cheap allegations, okay? And this is where it comes into play here. Let's say you have 6 guys in your scouting department. I think that's how many people are in the Bengals scouting department. 6. You have the legal tampering period and free agency, which happened a couple weeks ago. It was very explosive. It was very fast. Things developed very quickly, as we found out on this show. Zach Taylor basically said today that they could not sign veteran linebackers because they were focused on other position groups, and he cites the signing of defensive lineman Jonathan Allen as a reason for not going after linebackers. Guys, it's very simple what is being said here without being said. The Bengals do not have a large enough scouting department to handle multiple deals at one time. So this is what happens to the Bengals. They identify a guy or two that they want to pursue during legal tampering, during free agency, and they spend all of their time, energy, and resources for that moment on one guy. Okay? And as you guys know in NFL, deals fall through. Other teams offer more. Something that you couldn't predict happens. Okay? So the Bengals are only able to focus on one deal at a time. And it's completely their own fault because they refuse to build out their scouting department further than 6 or 7 people. So Zach Taylor literally comes to the media today and says without saying, and maybe it's by design, maybe he's fed up with the backwards antics of this organization. Zach Taylor literally said without saying today that we couldn't sign a veteran linebacker because we were focused on signing Jonathan Allen. The logical solution to this would be just hire more people in the scouting department so that you can handle multiple negotiations at one time. The Bengals are literally living in the Stone Age, and it's of their own making. We couldn't sign veteran linebackers because we were signing Jonathan Allen. Can somebody with a logical mind talking about the NFL unpack that for me? I'd understand if it was high school football or something. Oh, we focused on this. We focused on bringing this one player in, and so we couldn't focus on bringing this other guy in. High school, that would make sense, right? But we're not in high school. We're in the NFL, and it's clear the Bengals scouting department is not big enough to handle multiple contract negotiations or multiple free agency conversations at one time. So you wonder how much this organization is holding itself back by refusing to add pieces in the scouting department. And then they'll go up to the mic and they'll say, well, we're we're very happy with how we're doing things around here. We're very happy with the size of our scouting department. We're very happy with the people that we have on board here. And then your head coach all but says we couldn't address this critical position group by adding a veteran because we were busy addressing another position group. And we couldn't do both at the same time. Make it make sense. This organization's never going to win a Super Bowl. Unless lightning strikes again like it did in 21. They will fail Joe Burrow as long as they continue to operate like this. They will fail Jamar Chase. If Joe Burrow's smart, he'll request a trade. And in doing so, the Bengals will lose every single fan that they've ever had, because the fans, too, know that if the Bengals don't win a Super Bowl with Joe Burrow, they're never going to win one. It's unbelievable. I had so much more in this outline. We're almost out of time. But that quote alone, I'll read it one more time to you guys, and you can make what you want to make of it. Taylor on why they did not add a veteran linebacker in free agency. At moments where we could add a player, there's been players that popped up at other positions that we feel are critical additions. Jonathan Allen being one of those guys. It doesn't mean we don't prioritize the linebacker position. The fit has just been somewhere else. He is saying, without saying it, that the Bengals can only focus on one guy at a time. We are in the NFL. Hire more people. But the Bengals, as we know, like some of our dysfunctional relatives and family members that we can't wait to move away from, can't get out of their own way. My name's Clark Dupree. This is In the Jar Football Show. Hey, if you like what you saw, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to generate some revenue here, hire a team, continue to make this show better and better. But regardless, we're going to keep showing up and we're going to keep getting better. We really appreciate you being here. Hope you got something out of that. And I got to run. I got some work calls to get to. Wish we could go longer. I felt like we didn't have much sauce today, but I feel like we brought it with the 17, 18 minutes we had. The Bengals, man, hopeless organization. I might have to withdraw my fanhood if Joe ever ends up leaving, guys. It's just unbelievable. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we really appreciate it. And with that, we'll see you guys tomorrow. How about it?